guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Carolyn RNY. If you're new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you join us here. And today we're going to be talking about food intolerances. So in my last video, actually on my last meal prep video, I got a few questions about food intolerances after having surgery, if there were any sort of foods that gave me problems with my new stomach or anything like that. So I wanted to make a whole video all about it because I think it's a good thing to talk about. So yes, I have experienced some food intolerances or some foods that don't necessarily agree with my new stomach. So I want to talk about that. I first want to say that for the most part, my food intolerance are far less now at 6 months post-op when compared to being like 2 or 3 months post-op. So my surgeon and my dietitian gave me a list of foods and things that I could eat during the different stages of eating post-op. So, you know, for 2 weeks I did just protein shakes, and then from there moved on to, it wasn't really like soft foods, but I could add in, yeah, I guess it was kind of like soft foods. I could add in like eggs, which I don't eat, cottage cheese, applesauce, I think it was. I could do canned tuna or canned salmon and a little bit of crackers, and I did that I think for a week or two, and then the next week I was able to move on to like really soft cooked foods, like really soft cooked vegetables, baked fish, and one of them like soft cooked pastas. So I was actually able to have, I keep touching my face, I'm sorry. I was actually able to have mac and cheese. So I got some of those like Kraft mac and cheese little microwave container things. I thought they would be a good portion size just to have, so I didn't have to make a whole box. And I don't know what it was, but I had like the worst reaction to mac and cheese. And it wasn't just Kraft macaroni and cheese. I actually tried getting, I got mac and cheese from a restaurant that's local to me that does really good mac and cheese. And I had the same sort of reaction. I had, I think I ate a couple bites of it. I didn't feel well. I stopped. And then maybe 10 minutes later, I was vomiting or dry heaving over my toilet. So mac and cheese was not a friend of mine. I don't know, and then I did try to have pasta with like just tomato sauce, which I was allowed to have, so I really softly cooked the pasta and then just had some tomato sauce with it, and again, like the pasta, I think just the stickiness of it, and sort of the gluten just kind of clumped up in my stomach, and it was really hard for me to digest, especially early on, like, please take into account at this point I was maybe 5 or 6 weeks post-op, so my stomach was very new still, and I think still healing, and just kind of getting used to everything. That was really like the first, actually that wasn't really the first thing. I had, before surgery, I had bought a bunch of Premier protein shakes to have for my 2 weeks of just shakes, to sort of be prepared so I didn't have to buy anything. And I got home from surgery and woke up the next day and was set to have a protein shake from Premier and had the worst allergic reaction. It felt like I couldn't breathe. I got hives. I got a super itchy throat. I had to take several Benadryl, and oh my God, it was awful. So I don't know what it was. It might have been like the lactose or the whey in it. I don't know. But I did switch to the Isopure clear stuff. I think it was the grape flavor or something. I don't know. I hated those 2 weeks of drinking protein shakes. I'm not a protein shake drinker. I've never liked them. And I should mention that before surgery, having a Premier protein shake was totally fine. I did not have that kind of reaction. So I was pretty shocked to have that reaction after surgery, but it's not uncommon. So if you are pre-op and you think you want to pre-buy a bunch of, one kind of protein, be careful with that. I would buy, a couple different brands just to kind of try, so you don't get, I bought 3 4-pack cases of Premier, and I had one little thing of it, and so I had all of this protein shake left and had to throw it away. So anyway, don't make my mistake. So yeah, that, the mac and cheese, and then at around 8 weeks post-op was when I could start incorporating real foods or normal foods, or sort of eating regular again, and incorporating, raw veggies, meats, and stuff like that. And I remember I was down at my dad's house and they were having BLTs. So my stepmom had made really high quality bacon, like good bacon, not, some kind of Oscar Mayer stuff, but this was like really good bacon that they can get down there. And she had like cooked it really well, and I love BLTs. I love a BLT in the summertime, and this was during the summer. I had the BLT, I just had lettuce, tomato, and bacon. I didn't have any kind of bread, because also bread was not sitting well with me at that point either. I had tried like a bite or two of like some toast. Like I had toasted bread, and that didn't sit well. Crackers were fine. Like I could have saltine crackers. They didn't bother me, which was good, because those and canned salmon were what I lived on for like 2 weeks, essentially, after the protein shake phase. Anyway, oh my god, I feel like I'm getting off topic with this video. Anyway, I had a couple bites of the bacon. I ate the lettuce and the tomato fine. I've never had any issue with any vegetable, raw or cooked. But the bacon, for some reason, I think because it was such high quality, sort of thick cut bacon, it was very fatty and very heavy on my stomach. So I had a dumping episode that night. Like very shortly after I had taken a few bites, I was like, nope, can't do this anymore, and dry heaved over my toilet for a good 20 minutes. So I got nervous about trying bacon after that, but I let a few weeks go by, and I did try and have it again. And this was, I tried like a less fattier version of bacon. And again, I didn't have such a harsh reaction, but it just didn't sit right in my stomach. And the fat still was very, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. So I don't really eat bacon, and it wasn't like I was a huge bacon lover before. I do love BLTs, but I'm not the kind of person to wake up on a Saturday morning and cook bacon for myself. Like, I'm just not. Yeah, and it's also, it's very, it just seems kind of like a pointless food to me, because there's not a whole lot of protein in it if you really look at it, and you're just getting more fat. And so I'd rather choose something that's leaner and has more protein than bacon. So, and I don't like turkey bacon. I didn't like turkey bacon before, and I don't like it. And then actually this weekend, I bought a little packet of Justin's almond butter. I was in Target and I hadn't eaten, and I was getting kind of hungry, and I was like, well, I'll just grab this and have a little bit of it to kind of tide me over until I can get home after I've done all my errands and eat, because I don't want to be caught, being ravenous and overeating or tempting that. So I got in my car and I opened it, and I had just, a little, like a few little bites of it, or bites, like just kind of squeezed into my mouth, but little bit at a time. And I'd had a little bit of that, and immediately felt just in my stomach that it wasn't sitting right, and I stopped and I put it away. I don't know, it was really weird, and I didn't have any more. And it was just strange. I don't really have a lot of nut butter. I've had a little bit of almond butter on like toast with banana or something like that, but I haven't had nut butter in quite a while. I do have nuts though. I keep cashews in my freezer, and we'll have a few of those every now and then. and I've never had an issue with just the nuts, but the nut butter I had an issue with. So that was kind of weird. Probably because it's more concentrated fat-wise, I guess. I'm not really sure. Other than that, things that are really, really sugary, like where my dad lives, there's this incredible bakery and they make the most incredible donuts. Like, they're so good. And so my family often gets them on the weekends. And I had a bite of my sister's donut. I'd never be able to finish a whole one by myself or even a quarter. It's very, very rich. And I had a bite and immediately knew it was way too sugary. And of course I knew that it was a glazed donut, but yeah, they're in that kind of situation. Like, I don't eat candy. The only kind of candy I do eat is Smart Sweets, where it's I love those. I love the chews, and I love the Swedish fish. They're really good. I actually have some in my cabinet right now. And I'll eat Lily's chocolate, but I don't eat sort of typical candy. Like, I don't eat Hershey's chocolate or Snickers or gummies or anything like that. It's always reduced or no sugar candy if I want something sweet, because I don't know, I don't want to tempt it. I don't want to go back into eating those kinds of things. I know it wouldn't make me feel good, and the whole point of this, I think, is to figure out what makes you feel good and what makes you feel bad. And if you find a food that doesn't make you feel good, you shouldn't eat it. And so bacon doesn't make me feel good, so I don't eat it. And I do have pasta every now and then. Like you guys saw, I made that chili mac and cheese. And so far I've been handling it pretty well. Hey guys, editing Carolyn here. I just wanted to pop into this video. I totally think I jinxed myself. I this week have for the first time ever had an issue with heartburn. I think if you remember from my meal prep video, the latest one, I made 2 dishes with tomato sauce. And I think the 2 or 3 days that I ate both of those meals really just bothered my stomach and my stomach acid, and so it's finally gone away. But do be careful of that as well. Just really acidic foods, because our stomachs are so small now, might not be able to handle that much. So I'm going to keep that in mind for future reference. I'm going to be more careful with tomatoey foods. So just wanted to pop in and say that. Back to the video. I can't eat a whole lot of it, so I'll put 4 ounces on my plate, but I can maybe eat 2 or 3 ounces of it, because I think carby, bready things like pasta and bread are just harder for my stomach to digest, and they kind of clump up, but you know, it is what it is. And I chose chickpea pasta because it has more protein and more fiber. So that's my only reasoning for choosing chickpea pasta. I don't think there's anything wrong with white flour pasta or whole wheat pasta, but if I can get more protein and fiber in, then I'm going to choose that option. And to me, it tastes very, very similar. It tastes more similar to like whole wheat pasta than white flour pasta, but it's still good. And with the cheese and sour cream and cream cheese and the tomatoes and the turkey, like, you don't really taste a whole lot of difference. But I know there were some questions on that and what I could tolerate and what I couldn't. Ultimately, I think things that are really high in sugar or really high in fat are going to make most people feel uncomfortable or have a dumping episode. I haven't had a dumping episode in, probably 3 months. So I'm very careful about what I eat, and most of the time that I've had a dumping episode, it has been more so about eating too much or eating too quickly, especially when I was early out of surgery, because you're just trying to get used to like, okay, what can I handle, what can't I handle? And now I have a pretty good idea of like when is a good time to stop eating before I get to that point. And you'll learn that. It takes time. I mean, I'm 6 months out, so it's taken me a while to figure that out, and it's okay if you haven't figured that out yet. Just take your time and be really careful. I still time my meals. Like when I sit down and eat, I'll put on a stopwatch and make sure that I eat my food slowly enough that it's over at least 25 minutes to 30 minutes that I've eaten. And that way it's slow enough that I'm giving my body time to adjust and feel full and recognize those fullness cues. So it's all about trial and error and figuring out what works for you and what doesn't. So I hope that helps you guys. I know I was a little all over the place in this video, but I really just want to be a resource for you guys, and if this helps, that is awesome. If it doesn't, sorry. And if you guys have any more questions or anything in specific you want me to talk about, please let me know down below. I would love any suggestions. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!